Welcome back. It's been long overdue. We've been busy people finishing up the season, lots of things, but we are back. Episode number 11 of In Case You Forgot. We've got
Is it really?
Yeah. We've got the whole crew back after a long-awaited absence. We just had to finish the season. Again, busy people. Lives.
Everyone was very busy. Lucas was in England for a month. Alan's busy winning a Pulitzer Prize. Charlie was in bed with gout for a long time, and I have babies. So we're so happy everyone's recovered.
What did I catch? What was a side swipe at me? Alan gets a legendary prize. You have the joy of fatherhood, and I have gout.
Because you look like a pirate.
You forgot to mention
and
me.
Those are the people who get gout. So it just it goes well together.
I eat at least one orange a week. So
me and Alan had to take.
Have a shout if you've got gout. Okay, moving on.
me and Alan had to take a business trip to Ilford. We had to claim the ends.
Ilford is so lovely this time of year. Did you go to the Costa in front of the mall? There's a little mall there in central Ilford.
Yeah, I did.
You know what I'm talking about? It's delightful. You actually went to the Costa because my name's Costia, and when I go in there, they think I own the place, and I say no. There's an I in the name, so I can't.
They think I own the place.
Yeah, no, they're very.
Oh my god, it's you! It's the guy.
It's the guy, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know about Alan, but I really liked Ilford. There's a bunch of stuff just like super close, and the walk wasn't long. I liked Romford as well.
Ilford's delightful.
And shout out to Leeds. Wonderful. I like Leeds.
It's not as bad as barking, is it? Is it, Charlie?
I noticed the way all the non-English people are going, I love Ilford. It's so great.
I love Ilford because the
Charlie, I have to like it. Those are my
ends. £45 a night, and that's when you've paid $600, $700, $800 for a flight, and then you show up and it's £45 a night for a back pain type of bed, but you have to wait at least a week before the back pain kicks in. It's just lovely because they feed you in the morning. And it's a British breakfast. The eggs are a little watery on the top, and the sausage still have a little bit of liquid leaking. But there's unlimited Nutella and croissants, and that's for me. I just basically, when the people aren't looking, the staff, I just grab like 6 croissants and 8 tubs of Nutella, and I just get really fat in the hotel room. And it's just lovely, and then the yogurt and everything, and the sausages, and it's all free. So
real quick, we're gonna run through the comments.
I could talk about this Best Western in Ilford for a long time, so stop me, Lucas. This is your job.
Jimmy, we're good. We did enjoy the season. Lawrence, this is actually Costia's fault. He is the one. He's getting a minus point to start off the day because he was late.
Yep, I have a baby and a 4-year-old. And I was eating pizza, so
excuses.
So
Lawrence,
Charlie's just
Jimmy,
recovered
from
gout. NHS done a brilliant job
Tommy,
with Charlie.
Hope you're well,
and he's well now.
Saved both my legs. Seeds. Yeah. You love to see it.
All 3 of them. Yep.
Tim, hope you're well. You know what? I hope everyone's well today.
I'm so glad Tommy's here. Tommy was watching. Tommy, was it rugby that you were at? It's really not cocaine. It's a little bit of vodka and lots of Red Bulls and things. But I don't put things up my nose. I have very sensitive sinuses. But Tommy, were you at a rugby match? Because I saw some video pictures and it just looked like a delightful time. It was sunny and
I've always wanted to get into rugby a little bit. Yeah. It looks like my type of sport.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get started, shall we? Just in case anyone has forgotten about us and doesn't know how this works, we come with some topics. We got myself, the chairman. We got Charlie, the judge, who I give all power to, and I only overthrow him if I feel it is necessary. And we assign points to Alan and Costia depending on how brilliant or stupid they sound. I cannot tell you what the record is right now. I think Alan is winning all time right now.
Yeah, but barely though. I think it's like 6-5
you keep
or 5-4. No. I remember because we kept it close. And honestly, you've really done us a disservice here.
Honestly,
because
who throws a shoe?
No, but Lucas, you've got one job. Is to keep track of these things. And you don't know the score.
It's been 3 months.
What are you, Jonathan Moss? No, I'm sorry, but you should have it written somewhere, Mike Dean. Like, what's going on, John Moss? Like, come on,
I'm
man.
corrupt. What can I say? I'm the chairman.
Well, yeah. Well, we still love you.
I am corrupt.
Okay. But I think it's 5-4 if I have to guess myself.
And real quick to answer your question, Costia, from Tommy.
Oh, Gaelic football, which I don't understand, but it's
Gaelic
delightful.
football is phenomenal.
Lovely to watch. Yeah.
Gaelic football is the sickest sport on earth, and I will go to the grave saying that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay,
We're not going to talk about Maswaku today.
All right, let's get into it. The first topic, I think, has made the rounds a few times, not only about his wages, but just in general. As soon as the season ended, just a bunch of news about Lingard coming, and then the whole wage thing. Apparently 180 bags is what we're seeing. I don't think it's true, but that's what's being said. Let's just keep it simple. Is Lingard going to sign for us in the summer? We will start off. Charlie, I'll let you pick who goes first.
I feel like Alan hasn't spoken, so Alan, you can go first. I feel like
he needs some FaceTime.
I feel like Costa's coming hot, and I feel like we need a bit of Alan in our lives. So let's go, Alan.
See, and that's why we're gonna use my powers for good, and we're gonna mute Costia off the rip. All right. Oh, I totally forgot. I'm supposed to set a timer. My goodness, It's been so long. What do I usually give? Like 2 minutes? We'll do
2 minutes, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll do 2 minutes starting now.
Okay, so honestly, fuck knows. I have absolutely no idea because everything points to him actually signing, but then it isn't. So my guess is as good as anyone else's at this point. But I think Moyes is going to push the deal, no matter the wages. Obviously, he's not going to get 180 pounds, 180,000 pounds a week. I hope so, at least. And I don't think the rumors are true on this on this actual value. I'd say he is going to sign. He's probably going to get like 120, 130k or something like that
I hope.
With bonuses. I just kind of really hope he does. I know I said before that I don't really want him. There are better players than Lingard. I just think he complements our team very well. And I think he's going to be, again, a brilliant signing. I know he's old, and maybe he's not going to play as well as he did on the loan he was here.
30 seconds.
But he's still going to be a valuable asset, versatile, good. So yeah, I think he will sign because I think he's one of Moyes' priorities right now. That's all.
All right. With 15 seconds to spare, I like that. I have to agree. I don't know about you, Charlie, but I think even if, let's say hypothetically, we do spend or we do give him 180 bags a week. At the end of the day, really, with me, if that's one of Moyes' main priorities, one of his main signings, he wants him that bad. I mean, really only have no choice but to back him. Really, I don't know how you feel about that, Charlie.
Yeah, by and large, I agree. We'll see. Let's see what Costia thinks, though. I'm intrigued because there's many angles you can take this. I want to see where Costia goes with it. You know what I mean?
All right, Costia, you got 2 minutes on the clock starting now, my friend.
Okay, so being a West Ham fan, I'm an emotional, sensitive guy, and
aren't we all?
Because of that, I just in 6 months, it felt like Jesse was here for 6 years. He grew so close to the squad. He speaks highly of Mark Noble and the things that he learned from him. I know he doesn't do that for Pogba or frickin' Nemanja Matic or anybody like that. And so it just felt like even though he spent his whole career at Man United, like he was with us for half his career, which is not nearly truth. But time works in mysterious ways sometimes. And
we did have him for his best.
It just felt like, he was just incredible for us. That being said, he was out for 1 year. And I don't think he's worth any more than 100K. And I have this when I grow an emotional attachment to a player at West Ham, they tend to leave. That's just how it is. They tend to break up with us. They tend to go elsewhere. And so while I would love to see him, I feel like we're either going to get one of two things, which is he comes back and he's not as good as he was, or he's going to go somewhere else like Inter Milan or something. But what I want to address in general is this, that like I see so many Twitter accounts, whether it's like an official news page or it's just regular people's Twitter accounts, talking about, oh, you know, he can go to hell because he wants 180K. Look, X confirmed that it's not 180K. It's like up to 180K if he matches all of the possible incentives and options in the contract. And people are slating him for 180K. And I just don't understand why people want to assume that they actually know the details of financial negotiations that are supposed to be private. And like I said on Twitter, there's about 4 or 5 people who actually know Jesse's wage demands. It's Jesse, it's his agent, it's David Sullivan, it's Rob Newman, and perhaps
10
David
seconds.
Moyes. Only one of those people is a liar. Okay, only one of those people has an incentive to leak information to the public. And we know very well that they leak things for their own benefit. And because they've leaked high wage demands, which we know he's probably asking for 100 to 120. He's not asking for 180. So there's only one reason you would leak that kind of information is because you don't intend on signing him in the first place. So I don't expect him to come because of that. And it's a shame because I'd love to see him for 2 or 3 years with us, frankly.
Have you landed? Have you landed yet?
I'm done, and I'm going to go get another computer because my battery's on 8%.
Okay. Well,
Costia's battery's on 8%, but Costia himself is on at least 400% right now, just firing.
You know, Lawrence makes a great point. Costia gets a point because he talks faster than anyone I know. I love that. That's true competitiveness, and you know you have to use your assets to your fullest ability and your advantage. Charlie, this is your time to take over, and you know how it goes. Normally, I go with your word, but rarely do I ever have to overthrow you and like troll a point from someone. Okay. But well, I'm gonna let you fly. Go ahead.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say it now while Costia's muted because I feel like he can't react while he's muted. So point to Alan because I disagree with the final point. He's unmuted. He's unmuted.
I said 3 times as many things as Alan, and I said more, and I had more points.
No, I'll tell you what. I disagree.
On the stairs, and I unmuted. Excellent balance, by the way. Mark Noble-esque balance.
I disagree with your final point, Costia. I don't disagree with the facts that you're dropping because the facts are all true, right? The people who know it aren't. I think you're right. The people who know 100% what's going on are those 5 people. I think more people than that will know it because they'll talk to people. I think the other thing, but the point I would disagree with is that there is no David Sullivan, whether you know he's gone, whether or not he was the person who did the leaking or not, I think is regardless. Because I think realistically, if he went out there and went, "Oh, Jesse Lingard wanted 180, so we're not going to get him," then that's all that's going to do is piss off Jesse Lingard. So there's no way that's untrue in that sense. There's no way you can say such an outrageous lie and get away with it. It's one thing when you're saying you're bidding for people who you're not actively trying to sign, but there's a different thing when it's someone who, you know, the manager wants and the club wants and everything else. So that's why I'm giving the point to Alan on this one. That's the reason why. Costia's still muted, so he can't respond.
because Costia is such a passion merchant, and that's what we're used to. And I do love a passion merchant. I am going to award Costia half a point, just so he doesn't feel so.
You know,
bad.
I can respect that. I can respect it. Respect it. No, look, sometimes you got to respect. You got to respect a hot start. You know.
Yeah, but like
just
every episode, Costia gets fucking pity points for being aggressive. I can't be bothered. Like, fuck off.
I told you I'm the chairman. I'm corrupt.
the Vladimir Sufal of commentators. Okay?
And also, I'm going to act more corrupt this episode because Costia had the absolute gall to call me John Moss. That is an insult for the ages. Oh yeah, We're going in. All right, Costia, we're gonna switch you up right now.
Yeah, switch me up, please.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
back.
so 1 point to Allen, half a point to Costia. It's 1 to 1.5 or half. Sorry. Okay. Let's look at the comments real quick. From Hammerhead, that's not even taking into account the player we'd sign for 50 in their wages. True. I reckon Lingard will end up with 145 to 150K plus bonuses. I would not be too fussed.
That's the other
Pity-
thing I was going to say. That's the other thing I was going to say.
Wally, you're right.
About Costia's point, is that we always, because we like arguing over single figures, that's why it exists. Yarmolenko wasn't on 120 grand base, right? There were bonuses and stuff like that, but people always want to argue over that fact. The fact it's 180 is still 180. Doesn't matter whether it's just bonuses, whether it's adding up to bonuses or not. And actually, even if he was on the 140K, which was mooted some point, that would still make him the most expensive player in West Ham history. People would still be annoyed at 140. Do you know what I mean? For a guy who's going to be here for what, 3 to 4 years, that's a 32, 33-year-old. Nah. But yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say is just because it's bonuses, that's still included. Because if he's anywhere near as good as he was the first time around, we're paying him the 180. And if he's not, if he's bad and doesn't get any of the bonuses, then what's the difference between him and Yarmolenko apart from he's more expensive?
Yeah, I agree. Alan, because of Costia calling me corrupt, you might have to start being a little more aggressive. You know, I could still take Costia's half point away whenever I want. I could deduct him a point if I wanted. Let's just get let's just turn into passion merchants. That gets me going. That gets on my side. All right, next topic. We have been linked with, I mean, already there's been people on Twitter keeping tallies about how many players we've been linked to. I think we're almost at like 30. I think we're around 25 right now. But midfielder has been a huge rumor and discussion of the offseason because obviously Souček did not have his best season, especially compared to his first season. And we're looking at midfielders, and we're looking at some big names and some good quality players that I would not mind trying to go after. So we're going to start with Costia. Who, and we're going to keep it realistic. We're going to keep it to people we've been linked with. So, and who is your ideal we could go central midfielder or midfielder in general. Who is your ideal midfielder signing? And this could be to partner Declan Rice to play in a 4-3-3, like whatever your ideal midfielder would be to add to the club. It doesn't matter for what scenario. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Okay, first off, can you hear me? Because I switched computers.
Yes.
Okay, lovely. I did the technical stuff well. So my ideal midfielder and the midfielder that I actually think we can realistically sign is two different people, because I think what we've done and again, we'll have a greater conversation about who's leaking information and why is it being leaked. But I feel like, Calvin Phillips is a dream, that would be lovely. He's already Declan Rice's partner in the England midfield. That being said, I think we've done what David, the one, with the little David, he likes to put in phantom bids, and he hates the possibility of somebody actually accepting his offer, and that's when he backtracks and says, well, actually, I wanted loan to buy and all this stuff. So I don't think the Phillips bid was real, and I think that James Ward-Prowse is very similar to that Phillips bid, which is it's season ticket renewal time. Let's get people excited. Let's link a big British name in there that would be a very obvious replacement for Mark Noble. I think there's, great things to be said about Phillips and Ward-Prowse. That being said, I don't think we're going to bid 50, 60 million pounds unless we were to sell Souček, and then we'd have to start all over and add a third and fourth central midfielder, even if you do like Connor Coventry, which Lucas for some reason does, but I don't think he's going to see any minutes for us.
I think a lot of people do. Not just me.
But, the name that I really do like is Yves Bissouma. It's another French speaker. Did well in that Lille system. Lille have been tremendous for the last 5 years in terms of their academy, winning the league over Neymar and Mbappe. And he's just dominated that central midfield of Brighton that was in the Champions League places and the Europa League places for a long time this season and is missing just a little bit of quality. So for me, it's Yves Bissouma without question. That's who I would like. Please, for the love of God, don't spend 40, 50 million pounds on John McGinn. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He maybe
I've ranked
10,
John
15
McGinn.
million
He's a
pounds
baller.
as third or fourth string, but please, for the love of God, don't spend serious money on John McGinn.
He's
Just
an
let
absolute
Yves Bissouma.
rat, though. He
Yves
is a
Bissouma.
knob,
That's the
but
answer.
he's a
Get him.
baller. Okay, so you're going with Yves Bissouma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie, you have any thoughts on Costia's rant?
I do, but I want to hear what Alan says. I want to hear Alan's nomination first.
Yeah.
I can already feel
What is
my
this?
No,
Out
I
of
just
order.
wanted something quick. He's
Yeah,
not.
I know. I haven't.
Listen,
I haven't.
Charlie's a professional. He's not going to give it all. He's going to give you just a little.
I'll tell you
bit
why,
to
because
cheese on.
there's an important nibbler here that we'll need.
And I can
but
already
wanna
tell
hear
you right now, you are behind with that absolute terrible Connor commentary comment because he is a baller,
Yeah.
and I know Alan likes
a
him.
baller in the championship, and you don't award the points, thank goodness, with your bizarre biases.
You forgot I'm a corrupt chairman at the end of the day. Alan, your 2 minutes starts now. Who is your ideal midfielder signing in any case scenario? How you'd want the team to go forward? How you want the shape to be? Yada yada yada. Your time starts now.
First of all, I want to disagree with Costia on the bids for Phillips and Ward-Prowse. I think they're genuine. The Phillips one was probably more of an inquiry to see where Leeds stand. I think Moyes wants one of them at least, really, really much. And I'm going to agree with Moyes on James Ward-Prowse. For some reason, I just very much like Ward-Prowse. And he would allow us to finally have a dedicated set piece taker that's capable of playing on a high Premier League level. Just to say, if Bissouma is very good, but I think Ward-Prowse would be much better for us. And being English, and now an England international, he's going to link up with Rice better than, let's say, Bissouma would, because we have absolutely no idea how Bissouma would play in our system. But to say, who are we going to sign? I'm just guessing that Souček is going to stay, and we're going to sign, I don't know, Josh Brownhill, and that'll be it for the central midfield spot.
Yeah, so no guessing. Who is your ideal midfielder?
Ward-Prowse.
Okay. Time's up. I know. Again, I like the way Alan he gets it done and over with. He doesn't use the whole clock. I like that. 30 seconds to spare. I'm gonna give my thoughts real quick. I have to agree. I was gonna say Ward-Prowse. I mean, if we wanted to pay for him, we could. We can afford him. And to me, it all really depends on what Moyes wants to do. So, if we wanted to run three midfielders, so 4-3-3 or any variation of just having three midfielders, I think James Ward-Prowse is the guy. I think he's so good and underrated still. There's a lot of people that still don't really see the quality of him. I think he's an absolute baller. But if we are to continue running a 4-2-3-1, I would have to say that Calvin Phillips or Bissouma would be my guy, because not only can they partner Declan Rice, they are capable as well of probably playing in a three midfield if we were to switch during the match or line up differently for another week or opponent coming up. I think Yves Bissouma or Calvin Phillips is the safest option, but I think James Ward-Prowse could really unlock our team, and Souček getting forward. I think it would be absolutely phenomenal. Charlie, take it away. Give me your thoughts.
This is so the reason I didn't want to comment direct, even give a morsel directly after Costia, is because
No early cheese from Judge Charlie.
No early cheese whatsoever, bro. Costia mentioned both James Ward-Prowse and Bissouma, who are the two that they're my two first choices, right? And then Alan's also gone. Costia erred on the side of Bissouma, and Alan's erred on the side of Ward-Prowse. So we have an interesting dilemma here, because I'm very big on this set piece thing that Alan has brought up. I'm very big on it. I think our set pieces, for the most part, have been steadily getting worse. And I feel like we need someone who's actually, if we had a legit set piece taker, because don't get me wrong, Cresswell can do it, Bowen can do it, Fornals can do it, but they're not killing it every single ball like James Ward-Prowse is, and we just don't score from free kicks,
The ball is good every time.
then I think that could be massive for us, especially with our gigantic boys. I think that could be a massive benefit. It would obviously cost more money, but I think there's certainly something there. The one thing I need from you, Lucas, Mr. Chairman, is I need a potential rule. I need to cut to you like an inquiry, rules wise.
Okay.
Are we allowed to include what Costia was going wild about after the bell, or are we having to scissor that off and chop it off? Because this could be the decider. Because
for this round, I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Okay, then definitely Alan then, because John McGinn's a baller, and I don't know what you're talking about. John McGinn is an absolute baller.
My point was that he's not worth the rumored price. I didn't say he was shit. Man. He's better than Thomas Souček. Probably.
John McGinn is
not worth 40 million pounds, Charlie.
John McGinn is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. That guy. You want to talk about Moyes men, this little terrier engine geezer who's going to come in and just not stop, mate. I'm a big McGinn proponent.
Are you going to spend half our budget on him, Charlie?
Bro, I only think we've got 50 million. All of these players are going to be half our budget. I think we've got 50
you're
million.
Even more pessimistic than I am. But come on,
I think all of them are going to. I don't think. Here's the real thing. We're not going to buy any of them. I agree with exactly what Alan said. We're going to get like a Josh Brownhill in, and that's going to be it, bro. And I'm not necessarily pissed about that. As long as it's someone who works in the system and Moyes trusts and everything, then do you know what? I'll deal with that so we can fully invest where we really, really, really need to invest. But at the same time, I don't think we got much money at all. I don't think we're.
I'll tell you what.
Any of these big boys.
Alan gets the point, but Charlie also is getting a point for that absolute U-turn. That was absolutely professional. Love that. That was more unexpected than I can't even compare that. That was absolutely lovely.
It's difficult. It's difficult though. I think Bassoon was more likely. But I would prefer James Ward-Prowse. Again, that set piece, man. I think that's. Imagine if we had someone who's just like a real corner taker who could just put it directly on the large gentleman's head every single time.
And for me, I don't necessarily want to replace Souček. I want to unlock Souček again. You know what I mean? I want to unlock him. And I really think if we move to 3 midfielders, not like one defensive midfielder and then 2 centrals, just 3 central midfielders. I think James Ward-Prowse would do the business. Declan Rice would do the business. Souček would do the business, and everyone thrives.
Nope. Souček's not good enough anymore. Has to be on the bench. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
Cost a wild statement, and I respect it. I do.
No, but look at the amount of passes he does. He has the same amount of passes in a month. Accurate passes as Rice has in one match. It's been proven statistically.
We weren't saying this his first season when he was almost hammer of the year.
And he ought to be relegated to the bench. And if we want to continue to push forward, he has to be a bench player. He had a 1 season off where he was allowed to push forward. Now that's Rice's job. We need somebody who's more defensive, who's stronger.
But you just can't make that conclusion after one good season and then one bad.
Huh?
You can't make the conclusion after one good season and one bad. You have to allow him to have that 3rd season to prove if he's a bust or not.
We can't afford that, knowing that we won't invest properly in that area of the park, and we've lost 2 center midfielders. You have to add 2 more, for the sake of people getting unhealthy, people getting injured.
And Souček can always improve his passing over the summer.
You can't have you can't have Coventry and Brownhill. If we go into the season with Rice, Souček, Coventry, and Brownhill,
I agree.
It's not good enough. We're going to finish 10th, and we're going to bow out of the Conference League early.
So I can agree. It sounds. You could want Souček on the bench, but to me, it sounds like you just want legit competition.
Yes, or tell Fornals he permanently has to play center mid and get another great winger. That's the other option.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you half a point.
I'll say this is the final thing I was saying. I don't necessarily. I agree practically with what you're saying, Costia. I think the thing I would say though is it's not a case of dropping Souček to the bench or keeping him as first choice or anything like that. Because I think it's less complicated. I think it's more complicated than that. I think it's a situation where you look at it, and you go, we need to be able to change up what we're doing. and there needs to be some competition there that can actually change games, can actually do things differently. So when we go up against, I don't know, whoever, some crap team, I don't know, Tottenham, and you go up against them, and you have like a situation where we don't have to play the exact same 11 than when you're going up against Manchester City and all these other things. Whereas I don't want to have like just the same thing over and over again. I think James Ward-Prowse allows you to have a bit more tactical flexibility about it than Yves Bissouma does. Even though, again, if you said to me, we signed Yves Bissouma and not James Ward-Prowse, I'm not exactly going to be kicking off.
Yeah, and again, like I said, if we're signing James Ward-Prowse to be Declan Rice's midfield partner, I do not like that in the slightest. Because while I do rate James Ward-Prowse, and he's not a terrible defender, he's not a defensive midfielder by any means. So we'll move on to our next topic. It is going to be the left back position now. I know we say who's your ideal left back, but you can give me a scenario or hypothetical if you want for this. Like, for example, maybe we sign just a left back that pushes Cresswell, or you want someone better than him. I don't know what everyone's views are. I mean, I kind of do, but we'll let you play it out. We'll start with Costia again. Give me your ideal left back, and I guess what you would do in the summer regarding left back and Cresswell, yada yada yada. With Masuaku looking most likely to head out.
Yeah.
Alan, I know it hurts me as well. I don't want to see him go.
Yeah.
But we're gonna your time starts now, Costia.
I think this is the most difficult question that we're gonna try to answer today, because Moyes has a bizarre loyalty to Cresswell, who I think is past his best. I think he's got a great free kick and a great cross on him, but he's too slow. He makes mistakes. He gets red cards.
I have to say this. He's very Marcus Alonso-esque. Or Marcus.
I would take Marcus Alonso over Aaron Cresswell every day if you don't count the
They both can't get up the
people
pitch running or with the ball.
But you know, I frankly I do expect Masuaku to leave. I don't, Alan. I know we don't particularly want him to, and maybe he doesn't leave because nobody really comes in with a serious bid. And what's 3 million, 5 million pounds these days? I think that's the type of bid we'll get for him. I don't think anybody will come in with serious money. What I dream of, and I know it's not going to happen. My dream, though, is that you sign Cornet from Burnley. That is the player that out of all the players we've been linked to, I want Cornet the most because he is so freaking versatile. He can play 3 positions. I don't know if he's the ideal defensive left back, though. So in my football manager, Costia's in charge type of deal, I'm signing Cornet to play 3 positions. And then Tommy, Bassey's already signed for
Villa.
What club is it? He's gone. Villa. Who I really like is Owen. Is it Wijndal? From PSV or Azi Alkmaar. Anyway, he's Dutch international.
I'll give you 10 more seconds if
so,
you need
no, I mean, I don't have much else to say. Sign those 2 guys, please. That's my dream. Aaron Hickey's not going to happen. Arsenal's coming in for him. They've bid more money. And I don't know who else we can get for a reasonable amount of money. So sign both those players, please. Please, West Ham. Relegate Cresswell to 3rd string.
You're done. I let you land. All right. Charlie, any thoughts before we go to Alan?
I have reservations over Cornet in general about whether Moyes would like him. I quite like him as a footballer.
I like Cornet a lot as well.
If the price was correct, that would certainly be into him joining. But it would have to be, it would have to be low double figures or single figures.
Before we go to Alan, apparently the relegation release clause is £17.5 million, which to me,
it is.
That's very decent for someone that can not only play striker, but he can play up the whole entire left flank. And if we want to play 5 in the back or 3 in the back, left wing back, he can do it. Alan, your time starts now.
Just addressing Costia at the start. I would like Cornet very much. I think he's a very good player. Obviously, can play striker, left wing, right wing. Who played right wing for Lyon for a good while. But playing Cornet at left back is like playing James Ward-Prowse at
Good
right
shout,
back.
Tommy.
They played in these positions, but Cornet is not really a left back. A left wing back, I would be more inclined to play him there, but left back, absolutely not. We'd have a Atuma Suaku that can score free kicks, basically, and I'm not about that anymore. Vindal is a very good shout. I like Vindal a lot. Watched him a few times live, and he's a player that I would like probably the most out of all left backs. But my shout would be Hassan Kamara from Watford. Cheap, probably, because they went down. He's 27. He's very, very good. Like, he's impressed me a lot. I watched, not maybe watched, but I was going about him a few years ago when we were talking about left backs and Cresswell, Masuaku and such. I was really talking about Hassan Kamara. Thought he was very good, and he is, like, maybe it was just a one-off, but I think he is good. About Cresswell, I think he just needs to fuck off to the bench, and I'm not taking anything else. And yeah, so either Kamara or Vindal, and then Cresswell just.
So give me your ideal
Bye.
left back. Give me one.
Because of the price and availability, Kamara.
And Costia, who is your ideal one? Cornet, you said?
I don't disagree with Alan that, Cornet is best suited at left wing or left wing back. And that's why I was making the point that really Windal is the person I want to be the steady left back, and Cornet can play multiple positions.
All right. So your answer is the
Windal at left back,
Windal.
Cornet to stretch, utility, and backup.
Vindal.
Windal, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The W is 2 V's, my G. You get me.
It's a J as well.
Oh,
WJ.
you like that, Charlie?
Bro.
You like that? I'm giving myself a point for that.
Spending time in the ends.
You already know where my ends are at, baby.
Yeah, Ilford. Ugh.
You're disrespecting two compatriots of the Ilford ends. Me and Alan, we run that.
And I will continue to disrespect it. It's Ilford.
Come on, you daggers.
Dagenham, different place, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Ilford
all right.
FC is really, really non-league, though.
Charlie,
so
give me your cipher, please. Who's getting the points today?
Costia. Because I like the Windal shout. I can never pronounce it either. I apologize.
Vindal.
I'm English, bro.
Yeah.
I'm English. Owen, I like him. I do you know what else I like about it is it feels like a solution that's longer.
It's an interesting one.
It's a longer term. I haven't busted. Have I busted it out yet? I don't know if I said it yet.
No.
Have I said it yet?
Hold it.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not. My interest hasn't been piqued yet. No, yeah, I like him a lot. It feels like a longer term one. It's
Tommy. I love this guy. Get him in.
It's
Donkey League. Okay. Talking about Ajax, I just want to say I think Vindal is going to Ajax, hence why I hasn't said him as my choice.
Wait, real quick. That's crazy, Tommy. That's my plumber's name. That's my plumber's name. That's my utility guy. He comes by the house and fixes some stuff sometimes. Don Keydick. He's a great guy. Good shout. Continue. Sorry, Costia.
No, I was just saying that if Vindal goes to Ajax, we can then just sneak in for Tagliafico on the cheap. Although I don't think he's as good as he's nowhere near as good as Vindal. He gets a lot of red cards too.
Okay, and as
I should say though very quickly,
yes,
I like the Kamara shout a lot. Do you want to just put that one out there?
I think he's decent.
How about
it's my problem with it. My problem with it, as opposed to that Windal shout, is it's not solving the problem long term. I think it's a good person who can come in for a good price, who sort of can keep it locked down for a bit. But I'm looking at a long term solution here and maybe I'm being optimistic with that, but that's sort of what.
That's why I was saying with me. I think left back is such a strong shout for us to like really drop some good money because I think I think it's time to have someone like way better than Cresswell. Not to compete, but like better than Cresswell. But that's just me. We move on to our next topic. Strikers. Striker options. Our favorite position to talk about. The cursed position. The ghost of Dean Ashton. Even though he's alive and well, he's kicking. Love Dean Ashton. But is the ghost of Dean Ashton. We can never seem to buy a striker that fits us or stays with us long term. So we are going to ask Alan and Costia their ideal striker option. Of course, we always keep it realistic because if we could all pick one, we'd probably say Messi, Ronaldo, maybe Weghorst, or Veghorst. Sorry, apologies.
Now we're in Charlietown, just a massive fucking lump. Let's go.
Yeah,
Get him in.
or is me and Charlie? I mean, me and Charlie, we are the co-presidents of the Jordan Hugel fan club. I would love to have him back at the club. Alan, we're going to start with you. Your ideal striker option, anyone we've been linked to, anyone you think is realistic for us, give me your gospel starting now.
I actually have absolutely no idea because my
Love that start.
Yeah, because my ideal striker would probably be Nunez from Benfica. But like, he's too expensive, that's one. Two, not really proven. He's more of a left winger than a striker, but Moyes would turn him into a striker, and that would be good. But we have absolutely no idea if he's going to play there and well for us. And then three, like Manchester United want him, so that's pretty much out of the question. They can offer him like 250k a week, and we're not going to. I don't know. Like, Nketiah is gone, so he's resigning with Arsenal. Maybe Richarlison, but then he just loves Everton too much, I guess.
He can keep loving him and stay there.
I mean, I would love Richarlison. Like, he would be an Arnautovic 2.0 for us. Actually forgot kind of who are we linked with now. Yeah, that's not that good. Who is the player we're linked with that people say he's like Arnautovic-esque?
Broja?
Oh yeah, yes. So I guess Broja, because Chelsea are probably going to sell with the budget being 200 million quid
10 seconds
before sales. So Broja is probably going to be the one I would go for.
Okay, I like that. So Broja is Alan's answer. Don't get me wrong. I think Richarlison is a very good player, but I absolutely hate him so much. I think he's a diving cheat and terrible for the game. But you know, once those type of players put on claret and blue, you know, it's a magnetic field. You just attract to them because they're such bastards. You can't stand it. So, sorry, I just read a tweet or something. I was thinking it was about Saint Etienne. I was thinking of Uncle Lee. Costia, your ideal striker signing, and go.
Yeah, let me tell you why it's not Broja or Broha, however you say it. I think that
I'm all for it because he's a Balkan boy.
Don't count this in my 2 minutes. I should be starting now because you interrupted me.
Okay.
Broha is. I feel as if the top 6 clubs we're a bit like Alpine or McLaren in Formula One, where we just are recognized as being in that next tier, and we're not going to get the engineering plans of the cars in the top tier. They're just not going to help us in any way. And so the days of Chelsea, Man U, Man City loaning us a decent bench player for them that comes in to start for us, those days are gone. Because we've got Super David Moyes, and he knows how to plan a team, and they don't want to help. They won't let us sign Jesse. We have to wait till he's a free agent. So now I think we have to look in other places besides those clubs. And so what I'm thinking I particularly do like Emmanuel Dennis. However, I think the problem with Emmanuel Dennis, Tommy made a good shout in the chat. I think Emmanuel Dennis is more of a left wing, left-sided player. I think he's a great competition for Saeed Benrahma for that position, and you still have to prioritize striker. What I would really love to see, it's going to cost like 40 million pounds, but I would really love Ivan Toney to come in. I think Ivan Toney is he's fast, he's quick, he's smart. He's got a finish on him. He's very different from Antonio. He's not as physically imposing, but he's a lot more technically sound. And I think Sunderland, Brentford would love. Sorry, red and white. They would love that money because they're so prolific with their scouting. They'd find 2 Tonys for 20 million pounds each, and then they would take that money from.
10
Especially
seconds.
because he did that stupid video where he's disloyal to them. I forgot what he said, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. So Ivan Toney is my first pick. My second pick after that is probably for the banter. Musa Dembele would be a hilarious signing video because you just have him come in, he'd put the kit on, he would wink at us, and then we'd sign him for 3 years, and he'd be underwhelming.
All right, land.
Excellent competition for Antonio. But hold on, let me tell you who it's not. It's not an MLS striker from New York City Football Club. That guy is 3rd or 4th string at best. It's ridiculous, and I'm so happy X came in and said that it's rubbish, and I think that's an easy journalist link to make because he comes from the Manchester City network. But no, thank goodness we're not signing anyone from the MLS. Goodbye, I'm done. That's it.
I think our layover was delayed by a couple hours with that landing.
You got to
Now-
respect the strong finish when they go, goodbye, I'm done. It's like,
Goodness gracious.
strong end.
Before you give points or give your opinion as well, I'll give my quick opinion. I've always said, if we sign a very good left back that like really overtakes Cresswell, like he is our starter without question, I would really like us to go all out for Ivan Toney. But if Cresswell is somehow by the start of the season our starting left back, Toney would not work. Toney needs someone that can give him the ball and put in a good service. And Cresswell, while he can do that, he can barely get up the pitch with and without the ball. That's why I compare him to Marcus Alonso. But he didn't kill a woman. So, but if we can't get a good left back to give service to Toney, it's hard because I think Jonathan David is realistic because I think we can't afford him and we've been linked to him.
Better clubs want him, so no.
Yeah,
No way. No way. He's not coming.
There's like 20% chance Jonathan David comes to us.
We've been
5%.
linked. I know we have the money. I would say Jonathan David. But if we're, I'm not even going to say anything else. I'd say Jonathan David. But if we get a good left back, Ivan Toney is my shout. Charlie, opinions, thoughts, point rewarding.
I really like how Costia started by saying that you needed to start the timer later and then spent a good half an hour singing.
You don't tell John Moss something like that because then he's just going to take the piss the rest of the match on you.
I'm going to give it to Costia as well. Partly for the singing. Because, sometimes you've got to respect a different delivery, a bit of variety in there. Variety is the spice of life, Mr. Chairman. That is very much a fact of life.
Vanity,
but also
variety.
Also because of Ivan Toney, he would be my first choice as well. I like him a lot, and I'm too scared to give up that ghost yet. I'm just going to keep backing myself on that one. I think it's unrealistic. I don't think we'll get him, but he would be my ideal first choice. But yeah, no, I think there was a lot of good people in there. I disagree with Costia, for example, on the Brozier thing, but I wouldn't take Brozier for the price that's being mooted. I would take him on loan, but I wouldn't take him for the price that's being mooted because I still think there's a risk. In the same way, I think it's a risk when we're talking about Emmanuel Dennis. I think that's a risk as well. I don't think he's anywhere near proven in the Premier League. I think he had a good 6 months and that's about it. And I look at that and I go, okay, we'll see what happens. I prefer than stepping up. But yeah, purely for the Ivan Toney thing, although I understand I would take Richarlison very, very, very happily. Don't get me wrong. I would incredibly take him. Tony's my first choice. So I'll give the point to Costia. Also, he sung, Mr. Chairman. He gave us a tune. You know,
He gave us a tune.
a tune.
Absolute tune. And I do have to say this. I've been on record. I've said this multiple times. There's only 3 players in the world that I would 1,000,000,000% not take in my club, and I would not support them. Paul Pogba, Wilfred Zaha, and Richard Arlson. As the Liverpool fans know him, Richard Arlson.
Yesterday.
Yes, but the
Take Zaha and Pogba all day long would really improve our club.
You are
Would be incredible.
disgusting.
We'd never get them. They
Point
would do
deducted.
massive bits for us. all
Point
day
deducted.
long.
2-2.
Good.
Second plane. 3-2.
Who was it? Who
Sorry.
was it we were
3-2.
talking? Lucas, the other day. Who were we talking about? Who's like a bastard? But we were both like, no, we'd have him in an instant.
Oh,
It was from the Bright. It was thingy Brighton.
Oh, Neil Maupay.
Bro, imagine that's the kind of dickheadery I want. Do you know what I mean? I love a good
Yes.
bastard, and I'm here for that. I'm
He
here
is
for that.
He is a dickhead.
He is a dickhead, bro. And I would be very happy if that was the kind of dickheadery we had going into a game. You know what I mean?
Oh, because what he did to us away fans towards the end of the match at Brighton was absolutely unreal. I almost ran out on the pitch and fucking squared up with him. Literally just. I would have beat his ass. I would have.
I disagree.
He's like 5'8", 5'9". He had no shot. And he's French. They don't know how to fight. Sorry, Costia. Moving on. Our second to last topic.
They had a
Costia's
whole
in the-
revolution, bro. They
Costia's-
blapped up their government. Sorry,
Costia's-
Napoleon.
Costia is
took
leading
over half the world?
3-2.
No, maybe. No.
On to the next topic. By the end of the window, how much do you think we will spend as a club? Costia, the floor is yours. Please, for the love of God, just land on time. All right? Your time starts now. How much do you think we will spend by the end of the window? Go.
The difficulty with the program that we've just partaken in is that we're incredibly optimistic in saying, oh, we should sign Cornet here and we should sign Tony here and maybe get in Ward-Prowse. We know we have 2 majority shareholders who are no longer interested in investing in the club whatsoever. And I as much as I like to, think that maybe it's not that big of a deal, it seems that those stupid Russians invading Ukraine is affecting Daniel Kretinsky's bottom line at least a little bit. And if you're a savvy businessman like Daniel Kretinsky and you're taking a hit financially, I don't think the first thing you're going to do is say, here, West Ham, have 150 million pounds. So unfortunately, I think our budget is probably, I'm going to say 80 million plus selling. So
give me your net. Give me your net spend.
90 million pounds. But I think that's because we're going to sell either Diop or Benrahma or Souček or 2 out of the 3 and get decent money from them and bring in free agents who don't require a transfer fee. We're going to bring at least 2 free agents in, I think, including Lingard is the top option. I really, really want to believe that Kretinsky has, some partners lined up and that he knows the money's going to come back in and he's got great ideas for redeveloping the Stratford area and all these things. But I don't think we're going to crack 6 figures, 100 million plus. I really don't. I think Moyes is going to have to be savvy. I think he's going to sell a couple players and 90 million maximum net spend.
We've got to work on that landing.
2 minutes goes far too fast. I really think you're giving me 60 seconds and tricking me. That's how I think.
Charlie, you have any opinions before we move down?
I'm interested in the concepts that Costia was bringing up about the selling aspect. That interests me a little bit. I'm intrigued to see who goes because that could probably play a big part in what happens this summer. potential sales.
All right, Alan, your time starts now, brother.
My answer is going to be, I guess, sweet and short.
The way I love it.
I'm going to keep on saying the same thing I've been saying for the past few months. I think our spend is going to be 100 to 120 million, and I think Kretinsky, while buying his shares of the club, already signed an agreement that he's going to invest a certain amount of money into the transfer window. So I think it's going to be, whether it's net spend or not, we're going to buy players for around 100 to 120 million pounds. That's it. Thank you.
Love that. I rate that, honestly. And you literally only took 55 seconds. That is absolutely.
That's why
that
you
is
can afford to have me talk just a little bit more.
you go over.
But I really hope Alan's right. I really hope Alan's right.
Yeah, before Charlie gives his overall opinion on the thought and his points, I mean, I kind of agree with you both. I think 80 should be the bare minimum, in my opinion. But of course, because we are West Ham, I could see that happen. I could see 80, 70 all day. I do think Diop, Benrahma, or Vlasic, one of those three will be sold. I don't think two will, but I think one of them will, as much as it would hurt me for Vlasic to be sold. But yeah, I think bare minimum, we really should be spending 90 or 100. But do I think it'll happen? Probably not. But if we actually want to push for top 4 and be competitive again, it's got to be 100 at least. But again, we will not know until it actually happens. Charlie, thoughts, points, what you saying?
It's a difficult one because I disagree with both. I don't think we're going to spend much at all. I think we're going to spend, if you're talking just straight figures, not even net, I think you're talking 60 mil net. You're talking 60 mil spend net. You're lowering that down to 50. I really don't think we're going to spend that much. I think it's a case of picking and choosing who we're buying, but I don't think it's going to be that much. I think we'll bring in, not including youth, academy players who are 22 and cost 1 million pounds. I can't account for that. Who knows? That doesn't come into the first, and they're not going to play anyway, so that doesn't come into the first team options, does it? So outside of that, I think we're going to bring in 4 players, 3, 4, maximum 5, but I doubt that. I think it's going to be probably around that number. I think it might be good though. I think the thing we all get distracted by. Look, don't get me wrong. We need a lot of people. But that's to compete consistently at this ridiculously high level and everything else. I think we're all forgetting what happens when you bring in that many people. Look at Fulham; they come up, they bring in 10 people.
Remember, if we
get relegated straight away. There's a lot of changing that goes on there.
If we have 5 leaving, we need to bring in 5 to replace them.
I don't disagree with you, but those 5 leaving don't have much effect on the first team. Mark Noble comes in sometimes. Yarmolenko comes in as a bench option, and that's it.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So give me your point. Give us your point, and we will.
So it's difficult because I disagree with both. So I'm going to give it 1 each. I think.
Okay.
I think I'll give it 1 each because I don't know. Because I'm
giving you a point for honesty.
I'll say that.
And real quick, we're going to answer 2 questions. We got one from our dear friend Irish Tommy. Question for the panel: if you were offered 200 million for Rice and Bowen so that Moyes could go crazy with a 280 million pound budget, would you be tempted?
No.
In an instant, I would take it. I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't even think about it.
Respectfully, no from me, no from everyone else. But
200 million. What the fuck are you lot talking about, bruv? 200 million. Owen's worth max 60. Rice is worth 80 to 100.
If Nicolas Pepe is worth 80 million pounds, Bowen is worth fucking 100.
I don't disagree with that.
120.
I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, Arsenal aren't coming in and bidding stupid money for him. You know,
English tax.
And real quick from Ben, do players
Yeah.
like Okaflex
Yeah.
get a chance this season or next season? I would say.
No, David Moyes
No.
doesn't play the kids.
Nah.
Coventry maybe, Alessi
No.
maybe, Okoflex maybe in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe in the Europa League, in the Conference League. Sorry.
Yeah, if we get into the group stages of conference, you could start to see maybe like a dead rubber game where they get a chance. Will they get more than 1 or 2 games? 0 chance.
All right, beautiful, everyone. And then our last topic of the evening
Are we 3-3 right now?
it is
Now
3.
you're winning.
No, Costia, you're winning 4-3 right now.
Because
Oh,
of the
lovely.
pity points, to remind you.
There's another topic.
Yeah, it's kind of following that last one, but it's a tad bit more broad. Is Kretinsky going to step in and help, or do you think he's going to be watching from the sideline like he did this
We
season?
kind of answered that, but yeah.
Did we though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
talked about
we
this.
did.
Okay,
Sure,
if you've
you might
answered it, just round up.
Well,
your
it's
answer
not gonna take me 2 minutes.
in a tight 30 seconds.
All right, if it does, well, thank God it's not going to take you 2 minutes because 2 minutes usually takes 3 for you.
True.
Yeah. Well,
So give me whatever you were going to say.
I mean, well, some American guy named Todd can spend $4 billion on Chelsea. We just don't get lucky with investors, and fortune's always dying isn't our song for a reason. And I think Daniel Kretinsky has taken a financial hit somewhat in the last year, and he invests in things like Sainsbury's and Royal Mail, which, while brave, I
Needs
don't
to invest in
personally understand
Tesco.
it. So I think our period of investment will come if he's particularly savvy about finding a partner to buy half the shares with him and to have like a $2 billionaire front, which will obviously be more professional and more efficient than what we've got currently with the Dildo Brothers. But, I don't think this is the year yet. I think he's kind of in trouble just a little bit. I mean, he's not really in trouble. I like to pretend that his girlfriend's dad, who's worth 15 billion pounds, he's somehow going to inherit that. But I just don't think it's that simple. I don't think you just get 15 billion from marrying somebody. I don't think it works that way. And if you did, it would take a while for those funds to trickle down. So I think he'll put in
That Western
50 to
Union weight.
75 million pounds, and that's why I made the prediction I made earlier of 80 to 90 million net spend.
Alan, thoughts? Do you think he's going to step in and contribute, or do you think he's going to be kind of watching from the sideline again like this season? Supposedly.
I kind of agree with Costia, but just as I said before, I think he's already laid off money for the transfer window, so he's going to come in and help this summer, and then kind of go back a little bit before he eventually takes ownership of the entire club, whether it's just him or with a partner. But yeah, he's going to, answering the question, he's going to help immediately now and then lay off for a while.
All right, Charlie, what do you think? They both seem to think that Kretinsky is going to make an impact for us this summer window. What are you saying? What are your thoughts on that?
I doubt it. I think if you're him, I mean, it shows with the money I'm saying we're going to spend, right? But if you're him, I think he's invested in Sainsbury's, invested in Walmart, but he always invests minority shares, and he's invested in a club that's doing very well right now. I don't see why he would come in and rock the boat. I don't see why he would come in and start dishing things out when he doesn't own it yet as well. I think I agree with the way Alan has laid it out, but I think I would say that would be delayed by like a year or something, basically until he has a bigger share of the club. I think when he's got a lot of other things going on, and I think in a situation where he doesn't own it, I don't necessarily see him coming in and trying to rock the boat too much.
Yeah.
I think if there was a situation potentially where David Moyes appealed to him or the board appealed to him and said, look, with your investment, we could really do this, that, and the other. But I can't see that happening this summer. I don't think it's going to be... and I don't blame him for that. I think that's probably a smarter business decision. But as Costia said, to some extent, we are unlucky in that sense. We
Yeah,
don't have an angel investor as such.
Yeah, this is a no point round, but in my opinion, I think again, as a West Ham fan, it really is like we are always cautiously in between, like being optimistic, but yet like we've got to keep our guard up, like extremely. In my opinion, I think Krasinski is going to kind of just ball watch again this summer, and maybe if we do have a good summer window and we need some reinforcements in January, then maybe he might stick his hand in. But I'm not sure. Like I said, I always keep my guard up. But before we go, we have to award Costia is the winner today. He's won 4-3. I can't say I'm
a draw and on another episode.
Hey, Alan, it's okay. I'm sure you're still winning all time. You're leading all time. You got the better record.
I am.
I don't know about that.
I think it might be a draw.
I think it's very close.
I think it's a draw if Costia wins this one.
You're a winner in my book. That's all that matters.
It's
I'm
either
determined.
it's like 5-5
no,
or 6-5.
it doesn't.
I love that. But Costia's won today, 4-3. Charlie got 2 points, and I awarded myself 1 point with that slick Dr. Seuss hippity hop rhyme. I can't even remember what I said. It was bars. Though. It was absolutely.
It was
fire.
nice. Yeah, it was fire. It was fire.
It was nutters.
Did Charlie award points for the last question? I don't think he did, actually.
Did you?
I'm giving my point to Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
And
yes.
what? And what?
Fuck off.
It's fun at the top, boys.
That's
It's fun at the top. It's like Eurovision. We could just vote for each other forever and no one could say and stop us.
Yeah, it's corrupt because Moldova should have won. Bullshit.
No, they should not have won.
Moldova's was so saucy and spicy. That was brilliant performance.
I respect that.
And I forgot to say, I was going to say, Bosh. And as we conclude, I would like to thank you all. It was an absolute pleasure getting back together and doing an episode. It felt.
Don't I get 30
phenomenal.
seconds of screen time for winning or no? Because I
sure give us your 30-second winner circle speech.
No, you don't.
As long as it stays at 30 seconds.
I'll try.
Go.
When I was it 14, 15, Mark Noble scored a goal that went in between a Tottenham player's legs, and it was one of his very first goals as an 18 or 19-year-old. And Mark Noble's been with me my entire adult life. And I really hope he comes back to the club at some point in some capacity, scouting, youth coach. And I think it's only right to end our last show of the season with a comment about him because we haven't talked about him this whole time. And so thank you, Mark Noble, for 550 matches and for really being a rarity in this sport. And I'll miss you very much, and I hope you come back on the sidelines in some capacity.
You're really making me cry in the club right now, bro. Like, what is this? I guess we can do that because, I mean, shit, you just really hit me in the heart right there. I wasn't expecting that. Alan, do you have a farewell message for Mr. West Ham?
I'm just going to go and cry myself.
Yeah, I totally agree. Charlie, you have anything?
I just like the circle of life moment, which was Costia talking about someone leaving as Costia's child came in and started talking. It was a beautiful synergy.
Oh, you guys caught that? Yeah, he just popped in asking for something to drink.
Just a beautiful synergistic moment there. You got as whatever it was, the circle of life. You know what I mean? Also, yeah, you said 30 seconds and then took like 20 of them. Wait and say the word when I was 14, which was pretty good.
Okay.
I'll say this: Charlie, your circle of life. That was your lasting ever message to Mr. West Ham.
Yeah, the old is old. You know what I mean?
I would say
Connor Coventry to the win. Let's go. You, Mark.
Yes.
I'll say this. I was at Noble's last home match. It was very emotional. I was quite drunk because I couldn't deal with my sober thoughts. Thank you for 550 matches. Literally amazing. Now I'm gonna cry. I will say this. I did cry when he dropped the bit that he had a lot of family here, and then he said 60,000 of you. Oh, just hit me right in the heart. But yeah, because of Costia now, I'm gonna go cry. I really wasn't expecting that. But before we wrap up, thank you, gents, for coming back on. It was an absolute pleasure, and it was great to get back together and do this show. Who knows? Hopefully, some more transfer news pops up. Hey, nephew, I see him sticking his arm in. Yeah, that's basically it. And I want to thank everyone who's tuned in to join us. Hammerhead, Lawrence, Irish Tommy, Novelist, Jay Woods, Joan. Even Costia commented for some odd reason. He just had to get his 2 cents in again via text.
Clips. Epic hash time.
Yes.
I'm wondering if they're talking about potatoes
Wally,
or marijuana.
James,
I'm not sure which one.
Jimmy. All the men, all the boys.
Ben, whoever Ben is, Ben's put in some good comments.
If it's Ben Atherton, much love.
Football memes of the month.
Sure.
I know Wally World was in at the beginning.
I shouted out Wally.
Joan.
Yes.
I wonder if it's Joan of Arc or no, she's dead, so it's probably another one.
Okay, we're wrapping it up there.
Yeah, we need to wrap up.
I love you all. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and hopefully we will see you. I don't know when. I'm not going to give you an ETA because we're all busy people, but hopefully the next time we're back, it's some good topics, some good transfer news, hopefully some signings by then. But until next time, come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you bastard Irons.